We got the energy. All right, so we're gonna be kicking things off in just a few minutes. Rescue Philadelphia as we go around the country rescuing America. Yeah. Right, guys? Woo!
One. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Frank Guglielmelli, and I'm your MC for today. I'm a South Philly boy. I was born about 12 blocks from here. This is my turf. And hopefully it's yours as well. But folks, we are gathered here today at the foundation of our country. You know, back in 1776, when Independence Hall was probably the tallest building in this area, a group of patriots, regular people, just like you and I, filled that building up to come across what has been known as the Great Experiment, the United States of America. Do you know how many great people have walked these same streets as you and I? George Washington, Alexander Hamilton. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence 1 block from here at 7th and Market Street. Yeah. Cool. The problem is there are others who want to tear down this great experiment. They want to burn that building down. They want to destroy that bell that rang to declare freedom throughout the land when the United States of America was born in 4th of July, 1776. They want to destroy Ben Franklin's grave around the corner. They want to brick by brick take down Betsy Ross's house because it is the home of the first American flag. Philadelphia, we cannot be silent anymore. We must be unsilent. Philadelphia, we must be unsilent. Let me hear you. We must be unsilent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank.
And now I want to introduce to you the founder of WalkAway, Mr. Bradon Straka.
Hello, Philadelphia! How's everybody doing today? Thank you all so much for showing up to rescue America. Yes?
Yeah.
Rescue Pennsylvania, rescue Philadelphia. I think we all know why we're here today, but let's just say it out loud and proud just to be clear. We are here to tell the radical left in this country, you do not have our permission to take over America's streets, to take over America's cities, to take over America's states. You do not have our permission to take over America. We are going to stand and fight for this great nation. We are not going to sit at home, as we're being told to do, while the radical left smashes buildings, loots our stores, burns our neighborhoods to the ground, commits acts of violence, commits acts of vandalism, kills people with permission and enabling by the liberal media and the Democrat Party. We are not going to sit back and let it happen. No, we're not. Who watched the DNC convention? What a damn clown show that was. You know, the thing that bothered me the most, and listen, you know, at the last election, 2016, those were my people. Those were my people. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton. I voted for Hillary Clinton, you know. I have to apologize for that for the rest of my life. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, Philadelphia. I'm sorry. You forgive me? Thank you. That's why I'm doing my penance. That's why I have to travel around doing these all the time. I owe America a big apology. But those were my people 4 years ago. And it's so interesting that once you get red-pilled and you walk away from the insanity of the left, hey, you people over there, you need to walk away from the left if you're part of it. Just know that. Once you walk away from the insanity of it, some of you have probably heard me say this before, once you see it, you can't unsee it ever again. And what made me really sick to my stomach as I was watching the Democratic convention this last week was all of them talking about how they want to heal the country. They want to heal the division. They're tired of all of the fighting that has been caused by President Trump and the right. And they want to heal the division. And then you know what the next words out of their mouth are? Remember when Trump said there were good people in Charlottesville? Remember when Trump called all Mexicans rapists? They lie and lie and lie and lie. None of these things happened. So it's so disingenuous for them to say they want to heal this nation and then in the same breath continue the very lies that divided us in the first place. But we're smarter than they are. We're also better looking than they are, but that's a different story. Let's not let our egos get out of control, but we are. We're smarter than they are, and I think that we have more heart, I think that we have more soul, and I think that in the end we have more fight than they do. And we are going to stand up. I think I lost, okay. We are going to stand up as we are today, and we are going to fight, and we are going to rescue America. These are just my opening comments. I'll be back at the end. We have some incredible speakers for you guys today. Any of you who are following WalkAway, who knows YG Nyghtstorm? YG is amazing, amazing guy. He's like family to us. He's been with us since the beginning. He flew here from Georgia to be a part of this today. Catalina, one of my favorites, who was a part of our Hispanic town hall in New York City. She lives in Miami. She flew here from Miami to be a part of this today. Chandler Crump, love Chandler Crump, one of the best young rising voices in the movement today, is here to be here today. I think Chandler also came from Georgia. We have amazing speakers, and I want to thank you all. I know it's hot. It's very hot and it's very humid, so I'll shut my mouth. Let's get the show on the road. Thank you for coming out today to rescue America! I love you all!
Thank you, Brandon. He'll be back later on in the show. Right now, we have a wonderful speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Catalina.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. I'll be honest with you, I just found out this was outdoors on the grass. I'm in heels, but I'm very excited to be here today. I'm from Miami, and I have to confess that in 2016, I also voted for Hillary Clinton. I was under the Democrats' spell, and yes, and I walked away from the left. And to be honest with you, I come from a conservative Hispanic family. Hispanics are natural conservatives. It's just when we get here, the media gets us. There's two channels that our parents watch, Univision and Telemundo. And those people are the ones that are brainwashing our people because we're highly religious. We believe in faith, family, and freedom. So there's no reason for Hispanics to be voting Democrat at all. Okay, this is a lot better.
Yeah.
So earlier today, I walked around and I wanted to see the city of Philly. I've never been here before. And I saw trash. I saw garbage everywhere. And I said to myself, let me just quickly go on Google and see who's the leadership in this city. And of course, I come to find out it's Democrats. And it's like this in every single Democratic city. I was in San Francisco 2 years ago, and I never want to go back to the city. I saw a bum taking a crap on the street. I saw people shooting heroin, and I actually had someone offer me crack, something that I've never experienced in my entire life. But I want to go back to 2016 when I voted for Hillary Clinton, who wasn't my It wasn't my top choice. It's not that I was a Clinton fan or that I really liked her, but I was just under the Obama spell. Let's continue the Obama legacy. Trump is gonna destroy his legacy. We must do this. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. But what happened was that I noticed the media. Nothing that Trump did was enough. When he nominated, I believe it was Cynthia Halper for the CIA, to be the head of the CIA, it was the first woman. She was going to be the head of the CIA. And what did the Democrats do? What did the media do? They had something bad to say about her. Oh, she used to torture terrorists, and she did this and she did that. And I'm like, damn, there's nothing that this man can do to please these people. So I unfollowed everybody. I unfollowed CNN, I unfollowed MSNBC, all the fake news. I unfollowed, yes, fake news, the enemy of the people. And I started doing my own research. And then I said, you know what? I was misled. And I was under the Democratic spell. And now, because I know the truth, I have to start shining light on people, and that's exactly what I've been doing for the past 2 years. If you have Instagram, you should follow me at Wake Up with Linda. I'll tell you guys, I'm in Miami, which is another liberal shithole, to excuse my language. And we have, our mayor is actually a Republican, and he's a weak and spineless Republican. And this man, okay, instead of standing up for the Constitution, instead of standing up and being a true Republican, and now bowing to the left, he's caving in to their demands, and it's disgusting. And I'll be honest with you, we have a lot of issues with the Democrats, but we have a lot of issues with the Republicans as well. Weak and spineless Republicans. We need better people, better Republicans. We need to get them out, and we need people that are true constitutionalists to get in Congress and in the Senate. We're tired of these Republicans that stand around and do nothing, and they wear the little Republican title, and that's all they do. That's my mayor. And I'll tell you something. It's really interesting to see the young people wearing Che Guevara shirts. And I met a man earlier today, or there he is. And I said, let me take a picture of you, because we have people in Miami. If you guys don't know, Miami is a huge hub for Cuban refugees, okay? And these people are pro-Trump, pro-liberty. They hate the Democrats, they hate the radical left, and they hate socialism. And now we have young people parading around with Che Guevara shirts, Che Guevara flags. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? You need to really read into history. And you know where the problem comes from? Radical schools. Our education system. Our education system is brainwashing children to believe that this country sucks, to believe that socialism is the way. And that is not the way. And I'll be honest with you, I gotta go soon, but this is a message for Americans, white Americans, black Americans, all Americans, Hispanic Americans. The time to fight back, it's now. It's not tomorrow. Do not be scared because you're gonna lose your livelihoods, because you're gonna lose your jobs, because whatever it may be. The time is now. We have to unite. We have to support each other's businesses. If you're an entrepreneur, if you have a business, let's support that business. If we have to walk away from certain brands like Nike, whatever it may be, Goodyear, you know, all these companies that are siding with the left, we leave those companies and we create our own companies and we support those American companies. We cannot bow down to the left anymore. We cannot be scared of these people. These people are terrorists. And we need to fight back. We need to stop being scared. I'm scared because of my job. I'm scared because of my family. No. What's gonna happen is that fear is gonna drive us straight into communism. Okay? So let's fight back. Thank you so much for having me here. Come by and say hello. Follow me on social media at Wake Up with Linda. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Linda Catalina. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. R.G. Nyghtstorm.
What's up, Philadelphia? I don't think I heard you. I said, what's up, Philadelphia? That's more like it. That's more like it. I don't have a lot of time, but I need to get to work. So, on my show, I get a lot of comments on my show. And a lot of folks, 99% is positive, but every now and then, I get folks from the left who like to say certain things. And one in particular thing, someone wrote me a nice little letter. Do you mind if I read this letter? Because this is what's going on in our country right now. And I need for you all to pay attention. And here we go. YG, how could you sell out your own people the way that you do? The senseless worshiping of Jesus Christ and Donald Trump is just beneath you. Neither one of these white men cares about black people. I'm sure this fictional Jesus was not thinking about black people when he supposedly died on the cross. And the orange buffoon is not thinking about black people when he says, "Make America great again." I thought you knew better than this, YG, as a black man who supposedly cares about your people. I'm going to continue to watch everything you do and share all of your videos so everyone can see how much of a clown you are. Christianity is a joke. All white Christians are racist, and any black person that's a Christian is a sellout. I'm happy to see statues of Jesus and his so-called mom snatched down. That's what I call a great start. It's a shame that a white man like me from California has to correct a black man like you in the regressive South. America is garbage and deserves to burn just like Atlanta, your hometown. F you, F your God and America. By the way, Black Lives Matter. Now, if you can imagine how I responded to this gentleman, and I use that term loosely, I decided to respond to this gentleman. And I said, you know something? Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for sharing my videos because you actually helped me against YouTube's algorithm against conservatives. So thank you very much. But I said this and I read that letter so we can know exactly what we're dealing with. And I have a way to fight back with this. So I need someone with an American flag on my right and someone with a Trump flag on my left. Can you please step forward? Please, y'all give him a hand. Brother, God bless you, brother. God bless you, sister. Now, this is what we're going to do. I would like to pray, if you don't mind. Is everybody ready? Let us bow our heads, please. Father God, we humbly come to your throne of grace and mercy. First, as always, saying thank you. Thank you for love. Thank you for appreciation. But Father, we as your children are standing in the midst right now in a country that is trying to abandon you. We are standing in the midst right now of a political party that seeks to remove you. We are standing in the midst of a media that's full of propaganda that seeks to smear you and anyone who loves you. And we are standing in the midst of another political organization with 3 letters who seek to destroy the black family, who seek to take out you and anyone that cares about this country. But Father God, what they did not count on is that your children are strong. Your children are determined to draw that line in the sand and stand firm for your word, Father, for they do not understand that they have activated a spirit of resurgence for this country, of why we love it so much. Well, we do not focus on the color of skin, but we focus on the content of character. Because it's only the content of character that establishes a person's worth, not skin color. So Father, we say, they have no idea that they have awoken a sleeping giant. People who love this country because you are greater than any left-wing, socialist, Marxist organization that seeks to destroy the greatest country that you have ever created. A country where me, 27 years ago, homeless and sleeping on the streets, beaten up and robbed and almost killed, found a way through the love of fellow American citizens and hard work to make it out of that adversity. That is the America that I love. So, Father, I want to say thank you, and I need for everybody to open their eyes right now, because we are fighting a fight that no one has ever seen before. We have a huge propaganda machine against us, but we are greater. We have a political party that has dominated the black community for 50 years, but we are greater. And we have folks who are in power that want to unseat our president, but guess what? We are greater. So I want to tell you this, because we believe and have that faith, we will prevail. And brother, can you come closer to me, please? Because what we're fighting for is not a divided nation, but we are fighting for one thing. May I hold your flag, sir? We are fighting to become one nation under God. I love you. God bless you, and everyone you hold dear. Stay strong in your faith. Continue to stand for this country. Continue to love each other regardless of skin color, because it is the character of our nation that makes the United States the greatest place to become the greatest version of yourself. God bless you.
Thank you, YG. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. YG Nyghtstorm. Our next speaker is Miss Karlyn Borysenko. Looking good in her WalkAway shirt.
Great minds think alike, sir. All right, how's everyone doing?
How was your hotel?
The hotel has not kicked me out. For those of you who don't know the story, you're better off for it. All right, guys. So I have to tell you, like doing stuff like this, politics, rallies, this was not in my life plan. It really wasn't. It's actually incredibly inconvenient to the life I was living before all this to be speaking up and speaking out about what I think is wrong in our country. So how did I get here? Well, the first thing you need to know about me is I grew up in Vermont, the land of hippie liberals, Ben and Jerry's, and Bernie Sanders. And in fact, there has never been a time in my entire life, I am almost 40 years old, it has never been a time when Bernie Sanders was not in public office. And so when I turned 18, it just made sense for me to join the Democratic Party. All my friends were Democrats, my family were Democrats, the Republicans were evil people that were trying to legislate their religion and tell me what I could and could not do, and I was not cool with that. And to this day, I have never voted for someone who is not a Democrat except for Bernie Sanders. That will end in November. And so I've been on an interesting journey to get to this point. And for me, it actually really started with knitting. Yeah, with knitting, with the thing with the yarn and the needles. Now, I know when you all think of knitting, you think of little old ladies in a knitting circle drinking tea and gossiping and all that stuff. But knitting right now takes place online on places like Instagram and Ravelry. And about a year and a half ago, what started happening was social justice started taking over my quiet little online knitting community. The same social justice that we see today in Seattle and in Portland, taking over and destroying everything it touched. And when I saw this happening, here's what I saw when the social justice mob made its way around knitting. I saw good people who had done nothing wrong have their reputations destroyed because the mob went after them. I saw good people who had done nothing wrong have their businesses destroyed because they wouldn't issue the statements the mob wanted them to make. And I saw one man who simply asked for love and kindness and consideration get mobbed so badly that he went into the hospital on suicide watch. And at some point, I realized that this was coming from the left. This was coming from the Democratic Party. This was coming from people I had politically aligned myself with, and I was not okay with that anymore. So from there, I put myself on a little bit of a journey. I started challenging myself to break outside of my echo chamber and listen to voices I thought I would disagree with. And the very first thing I listened to was a WalkAway town hall with Bradon Straka and Mikey Harlow. And I was convinced that I would not agree with a word these people had to say. But instead, I saw people who sounded an awful lot like me. And this was a surprise, because Rachel Maddow on MSNBC had told me, had sworn, that WalkAway was fake. WalkAway was a bunch of Russian bots and fake Republicans who were pretending to be former Democrats, and she lied, and I believed her. And of course, that was not the only time the media lied to me, which I found out through the course of this. But my big graduation exercise on this journey of listening to people I thought I would disagree with was a Donald Trump rally in Manchester, New Hampshire on the night of the eve of the New Hampshire primary. And my friends thought I was crazy. They really did. They're like, Karlyn, what are you doing? Those are deplorable people. You're going to be harassed. One person even offered me her pepper spray just in case the Trump supporters got out of hand. And I said, no, I'm going to be fine. And so I went and I stood in that big long line outside the arena. And guess what? I didn't see a single member of the KKK. I didn't see a single Nazi. I didn't talk to a single white supremacist. What I did do was I met regular, everyday, hardworking people. I met veterans, I met school teachers, I met small business owners who just had different ideas about how to run the country. And this is when I got smacked in the face with how much the media and the Democrats had lied to me. And I don't know about you guys, I don't like being lied to. I don't. Now, the first time I ever saw Bradon Straka speak in person, it was at CPAC this past year, and he got up in front of the audience and he said, "Hell has no fury like a gay man scorned." But here's the thing, Bradon, being a gay man, probably doesn't have as much experience with really pissed off women. And I'm really pissed off. I'm pissed off at the Democratic politicians who lied to me for my entire life about what they were trying to do. I'm pissed off every single time they play politics with things that should not be political at all. I'm pissed off at the media who continues to cover for them over and over and over again and will not even report on the fact that Joe Biden clearly has dementia and is not capable of running this country. I'm pissed at the mayors in Seattle, in Minneapolis, in Portland, and especially in Los Angeles, where we were a couple weeks ago. In Los Angeles, the mayor is threatening to turn off the water and the power of people who have gas over to their house. I have had enough. And if you've had enough too, listen guys, this election is important. This is no joke. This is not an election between Democrats and Republicans. It's really not. Listen, I know this is going to make some of you in the crowd upset. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. I did not leave the Democratic Party and simply go to the other side. I tend to think both sides are equally their own brands of crazy. But here's the thing. Although I have different ideas than the right about things like healthcare and immigration and environmentalism, where I am absolutely aligned with people on the conservative side is on freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and our fundamental liberties, the thing that makes this country great. On that, we are in absolute lockstep. Because the thing is, we cannot fix the big problems in this country if we cannot talk to one another. We have to be able to have conversations. And in order to win this election, guys, in order to really have the type of change that we need, you have all got to start showing up. You have got to start speaking out. You know, when I knew we were going to be in this location for this rally, one of the things that I did was I started thinking about the Founding Fathers and all the things that they went through at the time of the Revolution. And, you know, we look back on the Founding Fathers now and we revere them as heroes that are bigger than life, but they were just men. They were just men of their time. They were men that had families. They were men that had jobs. You know, when I talk to people on the right, they say, Karlyn, I don't want to speak out because I could lose my job. I could, you know, my neighbors might do something to my lawn if I put up a Trump sign, all this stuff. You are no different than the men who founded this country. You are no different. They spoke up, they coordinated, they got together, they expressed their beliefs, even though at that time, if we had lost the Revolutionary War, they would have been deemed traitors. This is a time where we need people to speak up, we need people to speak out. You need to show up to things like this. You need to talk to your friends about your values. Don't try to pitch them Trump. This is not even about Trump. This is not about Trump versus Biden. This is about, do you want to live in a country that has an authoritarian government that wants to tell you what ideas you can consider and what words you can speak and what videos you can watch and what voices you can listen to? That is what is at stake in this election. This is a time for heroes. This is a time to be brave, and every single person here can stand up and do something to move this country back to the right direction. All right, guys, thanks for coming out today.
Our next speaker, I met at a WalkAway meeting about a month or so ago, and he really impressed us. And he went on the Facebook page and wrote his testimonial, and he's here now to speak to us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Marquese Robinson.
How's everybody doing today? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you. How's everybody doing today? All right. Now, I'm here today, and nobody's perfect. But in 2016, and all up to 2019, I was a Democrat. For months, I believed their lies. But I started doing my own homework. Well, I'm here to tell you, my reason why I left the radical left, it was not because I was just thinking, oh, what's everybody going to think of me? No, I left because that I believe in free speech. I believe all lives matter. All right? This is a land of opportunity. Nobody's a bad person. We all make mistakes. Times and times, history has shown us. But I want to thank all of you for coming out today. I'm not going to be long, but this is meaningful to see all these faces of both genders, of all nationality. This is a message we need to send out to America. Thank you all for having me, and God bless America.
All right, next on our list is Mike Harlow.
Hey, fam! Oh my God, we have so much shit to talk about. Did you guys watch the convention?
Unfortunately.
It was like a damn funeral! That was the most big budget wake that I have ever been to. Maybe in November will be the Democratic Party's wake. I can't believe they trot out all the celebrities. You know what it felt like? One of those, did you guys ever watch those telethons that my parents used to make me watch where like Jerry Lewis had one foot in the grave, but they'd bring him out and prop him up and be like, wave goodnight to everyone, Jerry. That's what they're doing with Biden. I don't know what the hell, like, CGI they used on him to make him somewhat coherent, but then they bring out all the celebrities. They have Billie Eilish. Did you guys see her?
Yeah,
Donald Trump is a very bad man, and that's why you have to vote for him, because he's ruining our earth, and thank you, I really feel that. Shut up! I love how you're all cool and edgy and with the kids, and then she comes out and tells you to vote for the 10,000-year-old man. But seriously, the gaslighting that was taking place at this convention is like nothing I have ever witnessed. They love to project, they love to accuse you of what they do, They bring out Michelle Obama to talk about, oh, children in cages. Really? The cages that your husband built? So stupid. And it's insane, the political realignment that is taking place, where the Democratic Party has become every single thing that I've always hated about Republicans. The sanctimonious moralizing and the preaching and the holier than thou. It's all about morals and decency and values and good versus evil, and they're the good people and you're the bad people. It's such bullshit. And I always kind of wonder when I watch them and they're talking about morals and decency and morals. You people bombed every country on the planet. You dropped so many bombs in Syria that the US ran out of bombs. Dropped bombs on the poorest, most oppressed people on this earth. What makes you so decent? I crazy? I don't get it. And the way that they gaslight you, Biden just did an interview where he said, oh, I don't want to defund the police. Trump does. They just have nothing. It's crazy. It's insane. So I don't know how the hell I can't believe Biden is the nominee. Like, am I crazy? No wonder he stays in the basement. I would too. Lindsey Graham is gonna come out of the closet before Joe Biden comes out of the basement. I gotta tell you guys, so I just did an interview with the mainstream media the other day. I had to tell you what happened. So I recorded it because I knew, there's no way that they're gonna actually put this on. But so this guy, he's interviewing me and he asked me, he's like, well, don't you think the president is a racist? And, how do you think it looks when he sends troops into one city and then he didn't send troops in with the reopen rallies? I was like, glad you asked. Well, one is a demonstration of Americans exerting their Second Amendment where there was no violence or destruction, as opposed to $600 million in property damage, 14,000 arrests, dozens of deaths, and 900 police officers injured. And a partridge and a motherfucking pear tree. So I was like, but, so nobody wants to see truly peaceful protesters be harmed, so does it look bad? Possibly. But this is clearly a recurring theme on the left, where they care more about how things look than how things actually are. So I don't know about you guys, I've only been here like an hour, so I don't know, but I can already tell. So I'm from New York. Oh, it has gotten so terrible. It's awful. Is it the same thing here?
Yep.
So let me ask you guys, in Philly, what's going on with the Republican Party? Do they do anything? Thank you. So that's exactly how it is in New York. So, we can be as mad at Democrats as we want, and we are, but at some point, Republicans need to be better also. In New York, they do not even try to win and I think this is the same in every blue city. They do not even try to win elections. They run these placeholder sacrificial lambs who it's just their job to lose and not create a stir. I'm so done with that. And I'm so sick of these people telling me, oh, we'll never win. No one will vote for us. No, we can't win in New York. We can't win in Philly. What kind of loser, weak-ass victim bullshit mentality is that?
Sounds like the left.
So, if they're not gonna run people, you guys need to run for shit.
Yes.
You guys need to run for shit.
Yes.
And we need to stop giving the left and Democrats more ground and more ground and more ground. Oh, it's just this one thing, then it's just the next thing. You give them an inch, they take a mile. So
That's
we
the
need
voter front.
Yes, that too. Anyway, though, thank you guys so much for coming out. I can't wait for the You guys are gonna vote?
Yeah.
I swear I would crawl through broken glass to vote in this election. I'm gonna pull that lever with my middle finger. All right, thank you guys.
Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is Chandler Crump.
Yeah, Chandler.
What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite not black kid, Chandler Crump, as Joe Biden would like to describe me, or notable exception, or cockroach jumping on his lap, as that's what Joe Biden sees me as, right? Right?
Yikes.
What's going on, Philadelphia? I want to hear you out there. So just tell me, how you guys feeling? You guys feeling good? That's great. Now, before I begin my speech, I just want to say, a couple minutes ago, we heard the Liberty Bell ring. We heard the bell ring. What does that stand for? What is that symbolism? Freedom.
Yeah.
Liberty, freedom, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, everything that this nation stands for. The American flag and Trump. And you want to know why I associate Trump and the American flag? Because he stands for all those things I just discussed. The Constitution, our freedom. These are the same freedoms that the massive left wants to take away. I think I lost the beat for a second, but these are the same things that the massive left wants to take away. Now, when you look at me, I'm a kid, right? I'm not an adult. I am 15 years old. And yet I was willing to come out here and speak. I'm here to shatter expectations. A lot of you out there may be thinking, Generation Z is lost. Generation Z are socialists. Generation Z are communists. Generation Z are the ones out there destroying buildings, destroying property, and saying Black Lives Matter. But all lives matter. And there is a good portion of Generation Z that believes this. I am here to represent that portion. I am here to instill hope in the future. Because I know countless people that are older than Generation Zers for sure, that have come out to say, I've lost hope in this nation. I've lost hope in the future. Because all the mainstream media, social media companies, all they ever show you is Generation Zers that stand for things that this nation doesn't stand for. That stand for socialism. That stand for the burning of the Constitution. That stand for the burning of important buildings like federal courthouses. And they stand for fake news. A lot of them stand for fake news. A lot of them subscribe only to CNN and MSNBC. They see nothing else out there. They see the fake news. They say, oh, well, Trump deployed the military and federal agents to the protesters in Portland, when he was really deploying federal agents to defend the federal courthouse out there. That federal courthouse stands for all those things. That federal courthouse, though it may be run by Democrats at times, still stands for America, still stands for the Constitution. He was out there to defend that. And that is exactly what we all stand for, what we all should stand for. Generation Z is a generation that is not lost quite yet. And I'm here to show all of you that. You guys may have sons, daughters, grandsons, granddaughters, and you may be worried about them. You may think, well, even if they stand for these types of things, look at what the rest of them stand for. They stand for pedophilia at times. They stand for the hyper-extinction of the LGBT community, past anything that is legal or anything that is morally correct. They stand for no morals. They don't have morality. They stand for the destruction of everything this nation stands for. So this is what you need to do. You need to reach your grandchildren, you need to reach your children, and they may think, especially if they're on the left wing, oh, well, he or she is a Trump supporter. My grandma or my parents are Trump supporters. They don't stand for the things that they stand for. They don't stand for Generation Z. They don't stand for the LGBT community. They don't stand for Black lives. You need to come to them and say, I stand for every single thing you stand for, but I also say that this is what we need to do. We need to support America, because America stands for Black lives. Though maybe in the past, it has moved forward. I'm not one to always preach about diversity, but we have had 2 black speakers, and counting myself, 3 black speakers here already so far, that stand for the same thing that I stand for, that stand for the same thing that all of you stand for, and they stand for America. We've had some LGBT speakers. We had Mike Harlow, we have Bradon Straka who's going to come back. They stand for America. So it's time to shatter the narrative that all LGBT people hate America. It's time to shatter the narrative that all black people are oppressed and they hate America. It's time to shatter the narrative that all Generation Zers, all kids, all teenagers like myself hate America. It may seem hopeless at times when you look at all those groups, black people, LGBT people, Latino people, and Generation Zers, but we need to stand up and say, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stay silent. I'm going to encourage every single person I know to walk away. I'm going to encourage all these kids I know to think for themselves. I'm going to be involved in the creation of a generation of free thinkers. And I'm going to change America. I'm not going to let it fall to the wayside. I'm not going to let it die. I'm not going to let it burn down what they want to do to it. I'm going to save this nation, and we're going to do it together. We're all going to walk away. Whether you've already walked away from the Democrat Party, it's time to walk away from fear. It's time to walk away from hopelessness. It's time to walk away from corruption. It's time to walk away from voting for the same thing you've always voted for. It's time to walk away from stereotypes. It's time to walk away from pandering. And it's time to walk away from Democrats.
Ladies and gentlemen, a friend of mine. She's running for Congress in the 5th District, Miss Dasha Pruett.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming out. My name is Dasha Pruett, and I am running for the 5th Congressional District to unseat Mary Gay Scanlon, who is Pelosi's puppet. She does everything that Pelosi wants her to do. These radical leftists are trying to destroy our country. They're taking away all of our freedoms. My family, they walk away, they ran away from communist socialist Russia. We gave up everything to come to this country, the land of the free, the land of opportunity, the land of the American dream. These people are stripping us of all of our rights. How's everybody enjoying their 6 months of socialism? Raise your hands, right? This is where they're going to take us. It's the government overreach. And the more they're going to reach, the more they're going to take away. We cannot allow this to happen. We need to start fighting like our lives and our children's lives and our grandchildren's lives depend on it. We have to come out and vote. Register others to vote. Brandon created the most amazing movement, and I am so honored to stand in front of all of you because you had the guts, you had the wisdom, and you had the backbone to look at the truth and say, I am not going to take it anymore. I'm going to use my mind, and I'm going to stop them dripping propaganda. So God bless you all. God bless this beautiful country, and God bless America.
Thank you very much, Dasha. Our next speaker is Adam Crigler. There's my boy, Adam. There he is.
Thank you, Frank. Hello, everybody. So, little known fact, I actually went to high school here in Philadelphia. So I've been to this place in front of this building many times, and never has it felt more important to me. And it's incredible to stand here now. I love this country. How about you guys? So, if someone told me a year ago I'd be standing here rooting for the President of the United States, I would have told them they were crazy. But man, I am proud to be here rooting for the President of the United States. Now, I was a default Democrat most of my life. The media kind of plays it. That's the good side, the good party to be. And now I'm realizing I really have more values with conservative Republicans. I'm not saying I am a Republican. I'm not really sure what I am. But I know one thing is for certain, I'm American. And it's really important that we come together and be Americans together. I was reading an article from Carrie Smith, and she was talking about Antifa. And when one Antifa member throws a rock, it encourages the second member to throw a rock, which encourages the next member to throw a rock. Well, we don't throw rocks. We get together and we follow the law, and that's what we need to do. We need to speak up. So I'm proud to stand here and speak up for what's right. So we got to encourage the rest of us to speak up, and that's really the key. So I started a podcast with a friend of mine about 6 months ago. I was clueless. I was not politically aware at all, and boy, was I in for a surprise. Yes, I was. Well, I needed to do my research. I wanted to be able to have conversations and know what I'm talking about. And I think it's really important for everybody to do their research. And I didn't. I just blindly went along with what the media said, what my friends told me, what the meme news that they follow said. Oh, those were wrong. And I had no idea how wrong they were. So I started following what the president was really doing, his actual policies, actually watching his speeches, comparing them to the news and seeing how they reported it. And I'm sick of that. I don't like being lied to. Who said that, Karlyn? No one likes being lied to. I'm 100% with you. I don't want anyone to lie to me. I want the truth and nothing but the truth. That's what I want. So I'm never gonna stop finding the truth. I'm never gonna stop fighting for the truth. And I think that's really important that we're all doing exactly that, doing your own research, finding out for yourself what's really going on. So I want to thank you, everyone here at the WalkAway movement, for letting me come in. And this was kind of spur of the moment. It was only 3 days ago that I was put on the docket to speak today. So I really appreciate everybody listening, and get out there and vote. It's the most important year to vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam.
Bradon Straka, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Thanks, Nick. Everybody, did you have a good time today? Let me tell you what I really loved about today. I didn't love the heat, but I never loved that. And thank you guys so much for standing out here. I know it's not easy when it's really, really hot and humid like this. What I love today is, so we have these cards over there. We have a WalkAway table. We have literature about our college tour, about the organization, about what we do. And then we have these cards. And on these cards it says, you have been invited to walk away. And on the back of the card, there's a QR code, which when people scan it, will lead them to our website for more information. I just handed out about 100 of these cards today to people in the park. All different kinds of people. There was a group of young black men who just walked by. They said to me, well, what's WalkAway? And I explained what it was, and I said, look, we put a lot of focus on minorities, racial minorities, LGBT people, because it's time for all people to stop voting with their skin color, their gender, their sexual orientation, and realize you have freedom and you have choice. And that's what we're doing with WalkAway. Despite any nasty things the media might say about us, we are actually providing more freedom, more opportunity, and more choice to all individuals in this country. That's what we're giving them. And you know, the Democrats and the people on the left, they would love to say, well, we're the ones who are really empowering minorities. We're the ones who are empowering the black community, the LGBT community. Well, let me tell you something. If you really want to give more freedom and more empowerment to black people, to Hispanic people, to LGBT people, then you have to be willing to let them go. Because more freedom means that they might make the free choice to not vote for your party. So put your money where your mouth is, and if you really believe in freedom, be willing to let the minorities go and give more freedom and more choice. That's what WalkAway is doing. Thank you all for coming out today. Grab some of these cards, take them home with you, pass them out to people. You don't have to get into it. You just say, hey, have you heard of WalkAway? You've been invited to WalkAway. Scan the code on the back. Pass these out to people. If anyone wants to get a picture with me, I'm here to take pictures.
If you want photos, you can stand behind this.